I just realised that I'd forgotten to add this into the year of retro gaming. I remember not liking Dr. Mario at all when it first came out. It just seemed like too much of a Tetris clone. Not to mention that it was the first time Nintendo had given Mario a spin-off series, and back then, just after the Amazing Mario 3, this just didn't feel right. As it turns out, I was an idiot, because Dr. Mario is a classic. Even though it's clearly based on the Tetris template, there's enough differences to make it stand on its own 2 feet. It's been remade a fair few times since the original, most recently on WiiWare. That was great. You could play in online matches with random people, and most of them would just slaughter me, but it was still fun. The game hasn't changed at all since the original, which goes to show that it clearly still stands the test of time. Again, why the name change? It's weird. In Japan it was called Legend of the Ninja Dragon Sword, in America it was Ninja Gaiden, and here it was Shadow Warriors. First impressions? Cool cutscenes. In between each level we actually get a decent amount of plot, and they would have to be some of the most impressive cutscenes on the NES. The main character, Ryu, not that Ryu, has left Japan and come to America to avenge his ninja father's death. When he gets there, he finds himself attacked by all kinds of people and birds and things. He eventually gets dropped off into the Amazon jungle by the CIA, something to do with evil statues unleashing evil, I don't know. Ryu's got a good ninja running speed. He jumps like Samus with the screw attack. I tell you what, his sword must be super powerful because it can pretty much kill anything in one swipe. Its range is shallow though. The enemy has to be in just the right spot for it to connect. Meanwhile, Ryu only needs to be in the enemy's near vicinity to take damage. And for someone who went on this entire mission because he was upset about someone being killed, Ryu seems unfazed to go on an absolute murderous rampage himself. The combat's actually pretty easy to get the hang of. The only real difficulty in this game comes from being knocked into bottomless pits, since Ryu seems to have taken a lesson from Link on how to be thrown backwards. Let's not mince words here, Shadow Warriors is a ridiculously frustrating game, and I'm pretty sure it's impossible to beat without some kind of cheat device. So this is basically the love child of Contra and Castlevania. If you like those two games, this would probably be up your alley. I'll say it still stands, but it's scream out loud frustrating. You might want to have a Game Genie sitting around, just in case. I wasn't that impressed with the original Golden Axe, so let's see if they've improved on the sequel. The attacks feel more fast and fluid than they used to be. You soon learn the tried and true tactics. The run and kick worked well for me. I picked the girl character this time though, and although she has good magic power, she's the weakest of the three, and therefore the enemies took forever to die. And the lesson of this is, never pick the girl. Uh-oh. Golden Axe 2 is pretty much the same as the first game, just a bit more polished. There's very little skill required, just approach, attack, retreat, and rinse and repeat. While the level backgrounds are nice and varied, the enemies are not. You'll be fighting the same guys over and over again. Oh well, at least the game isn't too long. Look, it's mindless, but it's not broken. Might be a bit of fun to play with a friend one rainy afternoon. I think it stands up just a little bit better than the first game. Only one more week before the Super Nintendo is released. I'm starting to get excited. Let's see if third time's lucky for the Blue Bomber, and if Samus manages to eradicate the last of the Metroids. Spoiler, she doesn't. Peace out.